When an anime has this many banger episodes in a row, of course you're gonna have that one episode where you're gonna have to just take a step back, where you have to take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, and just calm yourself a little bit, calm the story down, pull the brakes on that train just a little bit, so that everyone is able to catch up a little bit. And this is kind of that episode where everything gets slowed down a bit. So you have a lot of characters talking, a lot of story exposition, not really much else going on. And don't get me wrong, I don't need to have action every time, but the thing is, the stuff that I didn't like, the stuff that I liked most about those last episodes was not specifically the action, but rather that, stuff was actually being driven forward quite a lot. But in this episode, there's only like one part where the story really is driven forward really hard, and apart from that, it's mostly just characters running around and just talking about stuff without actually doing that much. Let me get into this episode though. So we start out with Sana and Felicia. They're cooking food, I guess, and there's this little message that's going out to all the fellas that the great day is coming, that the great Operation Awakening Eve is coming. We also see Mifuyu and Tsuruno isn't looking too good. Something's wrong with Tsuruno. Mifuyu is like, oh no, what have I done? We then see Iroha and Kurua, they're going around and they're gonna try and fix everything somehow. We also see that apparently real people, normal people rather, are being used to fuel witches, I guess, with their emotional energy to make them produce grief seeds, or just to make them bigger, I guess. We later in the episode see that these guys are being fed to Eve, basically, by realistic mouth feeding. That was weird. We then also see that Kyoko is there and she's stealing grief seeds because Kyoko do what Kyoko does, and they're being chased by some security bears. They're like guards, but they're just bear heads, okay? And they're being chased and they're running around and they're finding out more stuff about Eve, and Yachio has got one of the Magus emblems from the Nays, the Amoni sisters. And then there's Toka's talking more about what's going on. Toka's talking about how they're going to get all the witches in the area around them and they're going to get them all together and doing stuff with that. I think they want to feed Eve or whatever. Now the reason why I keep going on, or I said at the beginning of this, that this was an episode where not really much is driven forward. All this stuff sounds like a lot of actually being driven forward. We're moving now to the actual, I guess, finale of this story arc, it seems. And we're getting a lot of information. But the thing is that I wanted to say is that a lot of information is being told to the characters, or is being talked about while it happens somewhere else, and we don't really have the characters themselves actually actively doing something. Characters are mostly just being told that something is going to happen. Here's some stuff that we know. Information is just given to characters. It's just told to characters. But like I said, anime gonna have episodes like this sometimes, because you can't have these really high impact episodes all the time. If you have high impact episodes all the time, you're going to numb your viewership at some point, where suddenly the big bombshells don't really hit big anymore if you just keep dropping bombshells every single episode. That's not how it works. I know many anime do try that, especially the mystery crazy anime that do try and do weird stuff. They try and drop bombshells every single time to get the viewers to keep coming back every single week, but you're just numbing your viewers. After the third or fourth episode of that happening, when you drop the fifth or so bombshell, super duper twist or something crazy happening, people are just gonna go, yeah, it's happened 3 times already now. I get it. So I guess an episode like this, where not really that many bombshells are dropped, but not really that much crazy happens to the characters themselves, I think it's totally fine. Speaking of stuff happening to characters, Mifuyu is drinking. I've had some stuff to drink as well, so I know where Mifuyu is coming from. After seeing all the bad stuff that she has apparently helped cause, Mifuyu has taken to drinking. But you know what, before that, there's a shot of Alina lying around in some comic books, and 99% of people seeing that shot are gonna be it's just Alina lying around. What's this shot? But it's 1%, which includes me, which is oh my god, that shot is so fucking important. Oh my god, I need to talk about this shot. I need to talk about the shot in the second part of this review, so I have a second part of the review basically where I make a separate video about the differences where I compare what happened in the game versus what happened in the anime. And for this episode, I'll actually have a lot more stuff to talk about. So this is going to be another one of those longer videos, sadly. But this is one of those shots where I really have a lot to talk about. This is probably going to take like 10 minutes or longer. Like this 2-second or 3-second shot, however long it was, is going to take up so much time in that second video. So if you're interested in that, hang around for that. I'm going to upload it like 1 or 2 days from now. Moving on though with the actual episode in here, in the non-game spoiler review. So yeah, Mifu is getting drunk, which is great. I've already seen at least 20 different memes about that, and it's only been a few hours, like 4 or 5 hours since the episode's been released, so that's good. And then we see Nemu teleporting the entirety of Magia's HQ onto an amusement park. That's cool. I need to talk about this in the other video as well, but for right now I can't say anything else other than, isn't that kind of weird, I guess. We then have some feathers that are dissenting, trying to run away because maybe they don't like what's going on. Maybe they're like, oh no, people are getting hurt. We can't do this, and they're trying to run away, and they're doing this thing like Skyrim, where there's like the guards right there, like the beginning of Skyrim, the guards are like there, and the guys just run like, no, don't get me, and they just fucking get him right. Like, what? Did that guy seriously think they're gonna get away? Really? So they capture a few people and they're like, no, stuff him in the cells. And if you guys wonder what is gonna happen to those characters, maybe I can maybe get this once again in the second episode, because it will require some game story spoilers, what might happen to these people that get locked in those cells. Then Toka is like, okay, now it's really time. Now is the time has come. And immediately we see that apparently a whole bunch of witches that we've never seen before are now all over Kamehama, like they're invading the city with all these witches basically, and they're like walking towards, at least from the diagram, it seems like they're all walking towards the base, I guess. And Iroha and Kuro and are there, and they're like, oh man, we need to do something about that. Yay, let's go. And they keep walking because they spend this entire episode just walking because I guess they really like doing some cardio. We then see Iroha talking about how Toka and Nemu would never do this. I'm buying it that Nemu would never do this, but Toka was an asshole even in the hospital, okay? Even in the flashbacks that we saw of the hospital, Toka was already an asshole. So yeah, I'm totally buying it that this is the same Toka that would also do this shit, okay? If you're a kid with friends in a hospital room like that, and you're an asshole to the people around you, then you're not just, oh, they're just a kid, right? They don't know any better. No, that's rotten to the core. Anyway, moving on from my Toka hate, which I have to give you every single episode. I'm sorry, guys. We then get to see this one scene where there's actually going to be some action. Like I said, not that this matters really too much, but Kuro and Iroha, they get detected by some guards once again, and then some white feathers and black feathers show up, including a character with a bazooka that I really very much need to talk about, because it was nice. It was nice seeing her in this episode. Then Kuro transforms, she fights him, she doppels, and the episode is over. Yeah, there's not really much anything else happening here. And then we get this after credit scene where on the after credit scene we see the shot of like Homura's notes that she has taken throughout the time that she's spent, and then basically the episode really ends this time with Toka and Nemu going like, oh, Walpurgisnacht is about to arrive. Oh. By the way, once again, this is how pronounced it, Walpurgisnacht. This is the post-credit scene. There was a post-credit scene, and then afterwards you get the end card, which wasn't part of the show that I downloaded. It's Ashley Taylor, the weeb. Anyway, that was our question. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, see you guys next time.